about the value of the friendlies, and you were making the point it's difficult to get any significant value from friendly against Iceland because the changes were so significant.
Yeah, well, there's so many of them. Now, I can understand it from Martin's point of view because he has an obligation to players. They're tired, they've got to go back to their own clubs. But I think to get really something from the friendly matches, I don't think there should be more than 3 changes from outfield players. You can change the goalkeeper because that's not going to be part of the thing. But you've got to give a chance for the 3 players to come in to play with the better players.
In their position and in the combination.
And see how they combine with the players who are actually playing. Because you're only as good as the players that you play with. And it's impossible to have a second 11 as good as the first 11. That's why they're second 11.
Yeah.
So if you have the majority 8, and then you really see how the players who are coming in, the 3 players you're trying, mix with the players who are the better players. And that, I think that's the ideal way to blood the players. Whereas if you have like only 2 players or 3 players from the first 11, it's very difficult for the lads then to really show what they can do because you're playing with lesser players. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way, but that's actually a fact. But Scott, if you've got your team, your settled team, and you put, say, Horgan goes in, 2 other players go in, you really can see what they can do playing with the better players. If they're playing like we did the other night, second 11, I mean, there wouldn't be a second 11 in the second 11 if they were good enough to be in the first team. So I think, say a maximum of 3 new players coming into it. Now, I know Martin is difficult because he has an obligation, again, to clubs that he doesn't want to be playing the players too much and all the various things that go with that. But I think the ideal way of doing it is to put 3 players in, max, into the first 11 and see how they do.
We're playing Mexico in June, and then I think 3 days later we come home. That's in New York, and then we play Uruguay here in Dublin, and the following week we play Austria. So you would expect in one of those 2 games, although he hasn't really done that for friendlies where he's put out his main team and tried stuff out.
I think if you got 2 friendlies coming up in a competitive match, I would say you definitely have to play your top team in the second friendly, your top team, but have a look at 3 others in the first friendly.
So don't make too many changes over the course of that because the big game.
Well, the priority is the big game.
Yeah.
So obviously, after a few months away, do you want your players to get together again? Because now you're starting from scratch a little bit with that. But I would play the 3 new players in the first match, and then play what you think is your strongest team in the second match, coming into the last game.
Given the results and